Hey everybody, Grimble here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reacting to Solo Leveling Episode 11. So last episode was one of those character build-up type episodes. We got to see Jinwoo and Jinwoo really put their plan forward and start actually going into these dungeons, harvesting all the items from it, while all these other hunters that they sort of recruited to fill the spots they needed to be able to even go into the dungeons in the first place. According to the guild rules, I think it said it had to be 8 hunters or 9 hunters. I can't remember the exact number. But they filled the rest of the slots with just people that they said, hey, just chill, hang out, and we'll pay you the money. And they would go in by themselves, clear the dungeon, come back. We also got a moment between Jinwoo and Joo-hee where she was basically saying, look, I've made a decision to stop being a hunter, and I'm probably going to move back home. And so it seemed like it was sort of a farewell, and that surprised me, I guess, because I was expecting a bit of a romance between the two of them, but maybe not. This show does seem like it's going to focus more on Jinwoo's sort of quest to achieve this power and get this elixir for his mother, and how that sort of affects him as a person. And I don't think it's going to be kind of like a Batman type of vibe where he's going to forego any sort of relationships that he could actually build in order for his one mission, which is to save his mother. And the only way he feels like he can do that is to get this power, get stronger. And everything else would just be sort of in the way of that overall goal, that overall mission. So he's probably really going to just ignore a lot of those feelings that he might ever have for someone like Joo-hee and just let her go. Let her go, move back home, not really give her a reason to stay. And maybe that's all we'll see of her. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this sort of unfolds as we go forward. And the only other real key highlight of that previous episode was Jinwoo was approached by a recruiter from a major guild who suspected Jinwoo of having great power and decided he wanted to get in the ground floor, make him an offer that he couldn't refuse. Little did he know what Jinwoo had actually offered him in terms of the building and the amount of money that he was going to get from that building. And so Jinwoo definitely used that to his advantage to try to manipulate this guy into finding out what he knows and possibly even making some money on the side from this guy. And in the end, he definitely swindled him on the cost of the gates and called the guy back and said, look, now we're even for you spying on me, essentially. But more or less, that's sort of the gist of the last episode, and I'm pretty excited to get into this next one. There's only 2 more episodes left, so it's this one, and then the next one is the finale of Season 1, so I'm excited to see what happens in this episode. I'm sure it's going to be action-packed, considering it's the penultimate episode of Season 1. So with that being said, let's get right into Solo Leveling Episode 11.
If you guys are interested in signing up to my Patreon, you'll be able to take advantage of ad-free content, 3 to 4 weeks early access to all reactions, which for the middle tier and above can include the full-length watch-along reactions. Those that subscribe to the highest tier will also be supporting my game and animation studio, Little Grim Entertainment. You'll have access to a sneak peek look at all of our upcoming games and animated shows.
Taking a walk?
From civilization out here, because who knows what's about to go down.
What is going to go down?
Change quest. I had to get
that's
to
right.
level 40 for this thing to even pop up. Yes.
Here goes nothing. Oh. I'll take that.
I forgot to do my daily quest. Yeah, I can do it when I get back.
If you get back. He's like not intimidated at all anymore.
At least it won't be boring.
Yeah. It's a safe assumption. Oh, Jinwoo is dead. Seems like such an enjoyable chat with his dad.
Actually, you're right on time, Jin-sung.
Jin-sung.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
It has.
Who's this? His brother? He has an older brother, right?
I can't use potions or full recovery in this place.
Oh
I
shit.
also can't leave until I finish the quest. I'm gonna need to be extra careful.
Yeah, it's an understatement, dude. Here we go.
An armor-type beast. Not a scratch.
I was gonna say, it doesn't look like you did much, dude.
Terrible. Tough to break that kind of armor.
Yep. Oh yeah, like the snake. Brute strength it again.
I've done it before.
Ugh. Oh, what's that?
Can't recover my mana either, so that's great. But it isn't like you tin cans care.
Okay. Nope.
Jinsung, I heard the two S ranks you reached out to have both declined your offer.
Oh yeah.
Both Mr. Mean and Miss Cha turned me down. But not to worry. I'm negotiating with hunters from Europe and the Middle East as we speak.
Smart move.
Jinho, I know that you've been working on something of your own in secret, which is fine for a personal project, if you stay in your lane.
Oh shit.
Damn, even I'm tired after fighting non-stop. I could use a break.
You're not getting one, dude.
Stealth. And here comes a mage. You need strength for knights, perception for assassins, and agility for archers. My weak spot, though, is mages.
That
The
could
intellect
be,
stat's
yeah,
gotta be
intellect.
the one that counters them, but it's also the one I haven't invested in.
Told you. Fancy. Oh, this guy. Glasses guy.
Excellent. I do believe this is everyone.
Again. Well, that's right. They're about to go on that mission back to the island.
Beasts dropping canteens. Almost feel like I should thank you guys.
Oh, so there's some way to heal yourself?
I haven't really experimented with gear much.
Does he actually wear it? Cool. Oh,
It's invisible? Nice. I'm glad I don't have to stand out.
I don't know. Kind of looking forward to seeing him in some armor.
Well, my next challenge is waiting behind this door.
That's a big
Whatever
door.
it is, I have a bad feeling about it.
Okay, Star Wars. What was that?
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's a bit ominous. Alright, here we go.
Some kind of throne room.
Is this the boss?
It's different, but also eerily similar. My body remembers this. It's the same pressure I felt in the double dungeon.
Oh shit. What does that mean?
All this intensity is coming from him. Knight Commander Egris the Blood Red.
Red.
Levels red too.
Yep.
A knight who defends an empty throne.
Who's the king? Where's the king? Do you become the king if you beat him? Shit. Fast. Oh. Duck. Dodge.
He cut that pillar like it was a tree branch.
Strong and fast. Not a good combo. Ow.
This is beyond just strong.
Yeah. Oh, God, you seem a little outmatched here. I would say your advantage is your agility and speed, but nice move.
Still nothing.
Doesn't seem to matter. Oh. Push back.
We're equals in terms of speed, but he's way more
Yeah.
powerful. And my dagger can't pierce his armor.
And that poison's no good if you can't get through the armor.
Still,
You should have expected that, dude.
different beasts have different weaknesses. So if a weapon's not effective, I'll just switch things up.
You just gonna punch this shit out of him.
Let's throw hands.
Let's throw hands. Oh, he's game. Wow.
Chivalry's not dead, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's honorable. What's happening?
Well, speak of the devil. Let me guess. You're heading out soon?
Yes. I can't express
Oh, that's
how
right.
grateful I am you approved this operation, but I'd still like to try.
You got the green light because you kept Jeju's name afloat. All of those TV and print interviews really paid off.
You don't expect criticism for kicking a hornet's nest?
What hornet nest did he kick?
I do, but I'll take the brunt of it. Just be careful out there. Jeju Island is serious stuff.
I'm fully aware, sir. That third raid on Jeju never really ended for me.
Third raid. Oh! Yep.
So fast!
He's got the Naruto run and everything. You're screwed. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh, shit.
I blocked him, but I think I still lost 500 HP.
Ouchies.
Taking that attack full on might have killed me.
Yeah.
And that was without his damn sword. He's too strong.
He's just looking at him like, that it, bro?
I can't compete with his brute strength, but I have the speed.
You have the speed?
I can't.
Yeah, I can't even hit him. Oh, man.
That passive skill raised my defense.
Guess that's something. Ooh, neck shot. Nice. Just pissed him off a little. That's all you did. Oh, ow. Oh, I'm throwing you around. He's like a ragdoll at this point. Oh. Ow. Had enough, kid. Oh, he's in the throne. That might piss him off. Get out of that chair, punk.
That ought to do.
Aw. Sweet. Are you done? What are you gonna do? Whoa.
No.
What is that?
Haven't lost yet.
Whoa. The eyeballs, man. Again.
That dagger can't change owners. It'll go to my inventory and then right back to me.
Oh, nice.
Too shallow. Step deeper.
Not a weak spot. Did you actually get him? Seems too easy. Right? Too easy?
I won, didn't I?
Did you? Wow, you did.
More of a fluke than a win. He had me beat in ability, technique, experience. Surpassed me on every level. I just got 4 rewards. A pouch with a crap ton of gold in it. And someone was kind enough to leave me his helmet.
Oh, nice.
Check the rank. reduces physical damage by 15% and gives a 20-point boost to strength and vitality.
Wow.
And lastly, the teleportation stone. It won't go in my inventory. Shouldn't this have dropped before I beat the boss?
Do you use it right now?
Unless...
He wasn't the boss? Oh.
So the quest begins now? What the hell? What's this all about?
Good luck.
A timer. Is this infinite?
Oh man. Yeah, it's a count up timer.
If they were as strong as this one here, I would be overwhelmed in seconds. But I can handle guys like these easily enough.
How many though?
No, there are quite a few.
Yeah.
No good. I keep fighting, but the gates keep puking up more and more.
Uh-oh. That's a problem.
It's to see how long I last. So... Stealth costs 200 mana to activate. Then 1 mana every second it's in use. I can buy at least 3 minutes.
Uh-oh.
They saw through stealth?
I got an Eye of Sauron.
Alright.
That's not good.
No stealth or murderous intent.
Or just take out the mages. Ow.
Only 5 minutes?
Uh-huh.
I can't keep going. I hate to, but I've got to use the stone.
You're gonna lose the stone, aren't you? Oh, that's not good. Uh-oh. That's bad, isn't it? No. Fine. All right, that was episode 11 of Solo Leveling, the penultimate episode of the first season. And it was good. It was really cool to see. Well, I guess let's start with, before we get into Jinwoo and the whole dungeon that he was in, let's start with some of the side characters. So we had Jinwoo, who was having a dinner with his father, and it seems like his brother came to visit and have dinner with him as well. At least I think that was his brother. They never confirmed that, but I just got that feeling because I remember his brother being the one that was supposed to be starting this guild and leading everything, and that's what that guy was doing. So most likely is his brother, and he seems kind of like an ass. He's kind of an asshole, and I really don't know how Jinwoo has such a great attitude as a person, as a kid, because so far his father seems like a jerk, his brother seems like a jerk. I don't know, maybe his mother is a really well put together person and he takes more after her than anybody else. Maybe it's like a Zuko and Azula type of situation where the father's just an asshole and the mother was such a kind sweetheart and one took after the mother and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's such an interesting family dynamic, and it also kind of does remind me a little bit of Zuko in that Jinho's really trying to appease his father and do well by his father and create this guild so that and lead it so that his father will recognize greatness in him and see him as a worthy son and successor. And yeah, it does give off that similar vibe. And also, just much like Zuko, he's probably going to go on this journey and find out that he doesn't need his father's approval. He is his own man. He has his own ambitions and own strengths, and he can do whatever he wants. And maybe he can just lead this guild himself and create his own company out of this whole thing. And he doesn't need his father's help or guidance. And I think that's going to be an important lesson that he'll probably learn eventually. And the other sort of side story that we got from this episode were the S-ranked hunters, the big wigs. They were all about to go out back to this Jeju Island place where they faced this massive defeat the last time. And this time they're going to go back and hopefully the outcome will be different. Now, I don't know exactly why they feel it'll be different, other than just we're gonna try again, right? Because they've said it themselves. They've said it in the series multiple times that hunters can't get more powerful than they already are outside of just some physical training and maybe boost up your ability and skills slightly in a physical nature. But in terms of your power as a hunter, it never gets better. And so if even as an S rank they lost before, what is different this time? Why do they feel so confident going there and being able to free this island from that outbreak that happened and whatever else they're planning on doing? I am curious to find out, what's new? What changed? Right? Why now? And it did seem like they needed to get some public support or support of somebody else in order to do this. And the guild leader or guild master or head of the Hunters Association, whatever that guy was, whatever his job title is, he seemed to feel like he's going to take some crap for allowing this mission to happen. And my question is, take crap from who? Like, who will he upset? Who is going to be pissed off that he sent these hunters to Jeju Island and allow that to happen? I don't know. Maybe that's something that obviously we'll get. I don't see us getting it in the finale. It's probably going to be a second season thing or even maybe later. I don't know. I haven't read the manga, so please, guys, no spoilers in the comments. But, those are sort of the lingering questions I have in terms of the whole Jeju Island thing. And I don't know how much answers we're going to get also, because there's one episode left, and that seems like a big deal. So I'm wondering, they might touch on it just like they did in this episode, a little bit in the finale, but I don't think we're going to get a lot of answers in this first season as to what was Jeju Island, what really happened there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of secrets and questions still left over for future seasons. And finally, that brings us to Jinwoo. So Jinwoo is pursuing this quest that he got in the previous episode, which is apparently a job change quest. Now, in typical MMOs, you have a job, whether it's a hunter, an assassin, a mage, a tank, like a warrior type of thing. Those are considered your jobs. And your jobs are also what dictate the abilities you get and whatever your specialty really is. So, I don't even know what his job currently is. They've mentioned he has sort of an assassin type build in previous episodes as well, but he also has like a lot of strength, and because he can really put points in all these different areas, he seems like he could fill a lot of roles, and I don't really know what his job is now, but this says it's a job change quest. So he's going to have to select some job by the end of this, and that will be his new specialty, whatever that is. So if it's not the assassin stuff, I don't know really what it will be. It'll be interesting to see, maybe he switches and puts more points into the intellect side of things, because he did mention that he is lacking in that. So maybe he becomes more of a magic user in the end, because he does seem very physical. But it's just weird. It would be weird because that would really change his fighting style, because he does seem to like to be up close and personal. He does really seem to like the speed that he has and agility and all that. And that doesn't really jive with the mage class all that well. So it is going to be interesting to see what he ends up choosing as this new job and what comes out of this. Obviously, he has to survive this dungeon to do so in the first place, which doesn't look very good right now. He's got these waves of these knights coming through, and they're all the different types. You've got the armor ones, you've got the arrows, the mage ones who have this Eye of Sauron that can see him in stealth and break his stealth. So all those little tricks that he has up in his sleeves, there's something there. One of those knights can counter that with whatever they have, right? Because you have the really strong knights that counter his dagger and his ability to sort of drain health. You have the mages, right, that counter his assassin build and the stealthiness. And so he's really going to have to come up with some creative solutions in this next episode in order to even survive this battle. And there was a point where he thought he couldn't do it, and he pulls out the stone to get out of there, and it got knocked out of his hands, and who knows where it is right now. Hopefully it's still intact and it's not destroyed. So he's gonna have to find that quickly and maybe grab it and get out of there. Maybe this is that one time where he uses that stone and doesn't actually accomplish his goal, because so far every time he goes into a dungeon, he has come out the other side accomplishing the goal that he went in there to do in the first place. And so, well, I guess with the exception of the S rank dungeon, where he obviously didn't get the elixir completely to heal his mom, so that he's gonna have to go back and revisit there. But he did sort of defeat that initial test, which was the Cerberus there that attacked him, and he was able to make it out of there alive. And in a moment where he could have pushed forward, he decided to back out and use the stone. And so this could be a similar situation where he finds the stone and he's realizing this is just too much. I'm not quite there yet. I need to back out of here. But honestly, I don't feel like that's going to be the case, because if that's how the first season sort of ends, with him just peacing out and being like, I can't do that, I don't know, maybe I think that would be a little anticlimactic a little bit. So, maybe he finds a way. Maybe he finds a way to defeat all these, although I don't know how, because they don't seem to have a limit. The countdown timer that was there was just, it wasn't it wasn't a countdown timer, it was a count up timer. So it was more or less a stopwatch saying, this is the time that you've spent in this dungeon and doing this battle. And so since it's not a countdown timer, it doesn't seem like there's ever going to be an ending to it. And that's really, really interesting, and I don't know how he's going to make it through that, but I guess we'll find out in the next episode. Now, he did defeat the knight, the big red knight that was there, the sort of what felt like the boss, but maybe this is sort of the final test, I guess, for the quest. But he did defeat the red knight, and he got some items from him. He got a lot of gold, which is nice, and then he got his helmet, which is probably helping him with this current struggle that he's going through, and the defense that he gained from that, as well as, I believe, strength and something else. Maybe it was agility. I can't remember what it was. But he's definitely going to need everything he can to get through this next challenge. But yeah, other than that, we the only other thing I will mention is he did have some sort of, well, they weren't really flashbacks. They were sort of, and it didn't seem like he was thinking about it in that moment, but it kind of felt like he was, because they showed us, his sister. She was being really sweet and made him some dinner from when he came home, and then it showed, his mom in the hospital. So it kind of reminded us for a second of why he's doing what he's doing and pushing himself so hard. And it gets back to Jinwoo, and I don't know if that's in his thoughts right now. It has to be, and I feel like that's something he carries with him every time he goes out to fight, is his sister, his mom, his family, and his ultimate goal of saving his mom's life, right? So that's something that he probably replays in his head over and over again of, I can't stop, I can't give up, I have to keep pushing for them, for mom, to save her. And that's, it's a very powerful motivation for him, but it's also what's driving him to be so power hungry. And maybe sometimes it blinds him to the actual dangers that he's putting himself through. And maybe one day he's going to put himself in a situation that it's going to be too much for even him to handle, because he keeps pushing himself so far. Now, obviously, that's not going to end up happening where he ends up dying or something like that, because, hey, plot armor, he's the main character. If he dies, then story ends. So, we at least know that for the immediate future, but he could definitely end up in a bad situation, end up severely injured, and maybe out of commission for a while, if he doesn't approach things in a smart way, in an intelligent way. And so far, he's just been, I'm not saying he's not smart and calculating, because he can be. He does think through his abilities and what he has to his advantage and the tools he has to use. but he does seem very sort of abrupt in jumping into this dungeon. Feels a little sudden. I don't know that he leveled up enough to feel confident going in there in the first place. And if it were me, I would take that time to really feel confident before I did this job change quest and do something a little simpler that I knew I could accomplish, but would also benefit me, right? It would still give me experience, it would still increase my level, and get to that point where I can't do any of that stuff anymore because it's not giving me any sort of benefit, and then attempt something like this. But he doesn't seem to do that. He seems to jump right in. He did it with the S rank dungeon. He's doing it with this. He just pushes himself and puts himself in dangerous situations that he honestly has no idea if he's going to make it out. You know, there's constantly been moments in time, you know, when he, especially when he walked into that S rank dungeon in the first place, he thought he could just jump right out. But as soon as he went in, the opening closed, and he found out later on, oh, I can't get out of here unless I have this stone, right, that teleports me out. Actually, that wasn't the S rank dungeon. That was, I think, one of the first instance dungeons that he went into because he was still not the buff Gino. But, you know, either way, he discovered this, and he keeps finding this out, that he goes into these dangerous situations, and what he thought was going to be a way out doesn't end up being a way out, or what he thought to be true because it was this way in another dungeon doesn't end up being true in this dungeon. And you would think by now he would learn to prepare for the unexpected, right? And not just assume that he'll have a way out. And yeah, so that's something I just feel like he leaps to these conclusions really quickly. He jumps into these dangerous situations really fast. And it's definitely making things probably a little harder than they need to be on him. So yeah, guys, I don't know. What did you think of the episode? Did you guys enjoy it a lot? You know, it's obviously, I'm catching up to where everybody that watched the anime is at right now. There's one episode left that you guys are knowledgeable about that I don't know what's going to happen. But so far, I've enjoyed the series a lot. I really like the... you know, I've seen a few isekai style anime, but what I like about this one is it's unique in the sense that you really get inside the main character's head and his approach to battle and his strategies and what he's going to do and how he thinks he's going to fight and what he thinks is important to level up and to not. Obviously, it's not your typical isekai where it's somebody from another world that comes into this world. He is a part of a world that is already sort of got this video game logic and mentality to it, and then it takes it even a step further when he does gain that ability to continue to level up and gain skills and put them in trees and that kind of stuff, put points in trees. And so it does have that isekai feel to it quite a bit. And like I said, what I like about this one is that you're getting in the head a lot of the main character. You're seeing his thoughts, his strategy, but I also do kind of like right now that it's hidden from the world. It's his own little secret, and he's sort of building this up in the background while you're also watching these other big struggles happen in the world, like obviously the Jeju Island thing and these S-ranked hunters and all these big wigs and what they're dealing with. And in the back of your mind as a viewer, you know, I wonder when Gino's going to get involved in all this. Right, because that's got to be where this is leading to, is that he eventually gains this power, and at some point, his secret will come out, and people will know that this kid that was an E-ranked hunter and very weak, the weakest hunter of all time, is suddenly the probably strongest hunter of all time, if not really close to being the strongest hunter of all time. That secret's going to come out eventually. And how he handles that and how he deals with... I'm sure they're going to have him go into Jeju Island and that sort of thing and help out there. I'm sure that's where this is all eventually leading to. And of course, there's I forget his name, but the big S-ranked hunter that wants him dead because of his brother. That all has to get sort of resolved at some point as well. And yeah, I'm really excited. They set up a lot of seeds in this series. and I'm interested to follow this path and see where they go. But as I was saying, guys, let me know in the comment section how you felt about this episode. Do you agree with what I'm saying, that Jinwoo seems to be this guy that sort of jumps into things a little too quickly, maybe doesn't prepare enough? You know, like I said, I do think he's a smart guy. I think he is good when he's in combat, sort of thinking through his abilities and how to use them. But I think, like I said, he's just jumping into these situations a little bit too hastily. So yeah, you know, do you guys agree with that? Do you disagree with that? Please continue on the conversation down in the comment section. And of course, guys, if you enjoyed the content today, please leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. It'll really help me out as I continue to grow this channel. It's been a lot of fun so far doing this and reacting to this content with you guys, and I would love to keep it going, but I really can't do that without your help, and liking the video and subscribing to the channel goes a long way towards that. And also, please check out my Patreon channel. There's a link in the description of this video. Over there you can find stuff like ad-free content, the full-length reactions to all the shows that I'm watching, including this one, and you also get early access as I am about 3 to 4 weeks ahead on Patreon for all the shows that I'm watching. So if you want to catch up, you can do that over there. With that being said, I can't wait for the finale of Solo Leveling. So I'll see you guys next time in the reaction to the Season 1 Solo Leveling finale.